It's just, who is it? It's just Battlestone, KO, not even KO, Battlestone, Thermal, Boone, which is really not a lot of a help, and that's pretty much it. You really don't have a lot of people fighting for him on his side. But what's really sick is Cold Snap comes back at the end, and he's basically a big giant monster now, like a big giant Frosty the Snowman. And what's cool is, well, what I thought that was Atlas originally. I was like, oh yes, they finally brought Atlas. I thought Atlas was like one of the coolest characters. I mean, he can grow to amazing heights, and he's mad beef. He's mad strong. He's not like freaking Giant Man. He's like this weak little guy. But I thought it was Atlas, and it turns out to be Cold Snap. And it's really cool because to see Cold Snap die and have Atlas die, like, you're really taking a lot away from the team there. So I thought that was really sick. The story was freaking awesome. It really goes into everything and explains how, you know, like, what's happening, you know, why they're doing this. And now it's like, in this particular issue, now it's like, alright, well, we've already explained to you what's going to happen, now let's show you guys. And that's exactly what they do. They don't hesitate at all. They immediately start off fighting and just kicking the crap out of each other. It's really, really cool. And I like how in this particular one, leading up to the end, they didn't show Brigade getting the crap beat out of him. Brigade just doesn't keep losing over and over again and just keep taking blow after blow. They're actually dishing it out this time, and they really go back and forth in the fighting, which I thought was really cool, because a lot of times they make Brigade seem like this, you know, this puny little team, and they're actually not. And right here you can see Seahawk actually stabbing Cabot right through the chest, which is really cool. But other than that, that's pretty much it for this issue. The art was awesome. You know, for Brigade, obviously the Brigade comics are always nice, but, you know, this one exceptionally good. I really like this one a lot. I love to see Cold Snap back in action. That was probably the biggest thing for me in this one. I was really upset that Cold Snap could have died, because at the end of the last one, or the end of this one actually, if I can get to it. Yeah, right here. They show how Cold Snap, he's like, oh my god, Cold Snap, yada yada yada, and then it's like, oh, he might be taking a turn for the worse, and then obviously you turn the page and it's everything. Let me go back. It's everything but him taking a turn from the worst. I like Cold Snap better like this than I did when he's just like a normal character, because you know, you don't have like that big massive monster on Brigade's team anymore. So to have Cold Snap come back as this giant dude, basically the size of Shogun, it's cool. I like when teams have this big giant guy and stuff like that, because it's like, you know, he's basically a freaking tank, and he's actually getting shot by Shogun. And in the next issue, and he completely takes every bullet with no problem at all, and just beats the crap out of Shogun. He actually freezes him, which is really sick. I would give this one probably a 10 out of 10. I didn't find a problem with it at all. This was a fantastic issue. Now, it goes back to Bloodstrike for part 4. I'm probably trolling on a lot, but I don't care. This is Blood Brothers Part 4. This is the second to last issue, and I think I said the last one, second to last issue too. Cold Snap is back, and he's freaking huge. And they leave no time, you know, on the first page they already show him. So there's no time wasted of him being back and fighting the crap out of people. He freaking clotheslines Cabot and almost breaks his back and kills him right there. And then he just proceeds to beat the piss out of Shogun, which is really cool. Thermal's back, and she's, you know, you can see the whole team starting to form together now, which is really sick. Now, with Seahawk and Lethal, they landed on a safe house that, which is right here, they landed on a safe house that Battlestone had, you know, just kept away secret. It's somewhere in the Caribbean Sea. What they do is they basically load up on armor and weapons, which is really cool. They have like kind of like a little argument of, you know, whatever, what's going on, how do you know Battlestone, this and that. And then they load up, and Seahawk's new costume is sick. He's got like this little red optical eye, and then she's got the same thing, but they got guns, they got freaking swords, they're like ready to go, ready to start killing people, which is really sick, because Brigade usually doesn't kill a whole lot of people when they fight. So it's good to see that happening. And Forearm gets freaking owned too. She gets like cut up the chest and like onto her face. and almost dies, which is pretty sick. I also, when I was reading this, I thought, like, right here, I thought Foreplay had died right here, because that's when he cut him, when he cut her, thingamajig. I thought she died, which I was like, oh, finally, you know, Brigade takes a freaking Bloodstrike character, because it's like, it's been so unfair, this entire thing. But in the last issue, she's freaking alive, which wasn't that great, but hey, whatever. That's pretty much it. What happened, there was really nothing to go about in this one. This one's actually really short, which kind of pissed me off, too, because they had this, again, they have this stupid issue in the back of Night, which no one cares about, because it was so bad. Art sucked in that so bad. Nothing really good happens in this one, like nothing really interesting. I think the coolest thing in this one is when they come back, and, you know, you can see they're ready to go, and then that's when the full team's together, finally, except for Stasis, because, well, yeah, they break through the wall, and Bloodstrike sees Stasis in the tank, you know, almost done and almost revived back to health, so, well, that kind of unfolds and fails for Brigade in the last issue. Art was fantastic. I would probably give this one a 10 out of 10 again. It's just a fantastic one, and an actually pretty cool cover, too. I didn't really look at that well. It's really sick. Now, finally we got the Brigade Blood Brothers finale, and this is the last one. This is the last Blood Brothers issue. This was the best one for me. I love how it unfolds. I think they did it just absolutely perfect. Basically what happened in this one, right off in the beginning, they automatically start, and they leave, they basically start where they left off. They're still fighting and doing all that stuff. So over here, you can see Cabot's yelling out the order to kill Stasis to Shogun. You know, he's like, Shogun, shoot her, or whatever. You know, obviously, the stupid little snappy rebel yell things Brigade does, Battlestone does, like, oh, over my dead body, whatever, you have to get through me. And Shogun's like, yeah, okay. And just shoots her dead. She falls out of the tank, she's got holes in her. But that's the turning point for Brigade. This was awesome. Brigade gets pissed, and they beat the piss out of Bloodstrike. Like, it's no match for Bloodstrike. They get freaking owned constantly. Yeah, they get a couple good punches back at them. It's nothing compared to what Brigade's dishing out. You know, Shogun kills Stasis, which is kind of like a turning point for the team. So now they're ready to go. Brigade, towards the end, I'm going to give you the ending of the story arc. Brigade ends up winning. What happens is, Brigade, Battlestone beats the piss out of Cabot, and he's basically has a blade to his neck, and he's like, listen, basically tells him, you know, call your team off and leave now and I'll let you live. But if you don't, I'm going to kill you. So he says no the first time, and he slashes his face open. And then he's like, listen, it's your last chance. And then he's like, alright, I'm out of here, I'm leaving. Because he threatened him he threatened Cabot to expose to the American people that about the Project Born Again. So he's like, alright, well, I guess I'm also leave. It's not worth it. The story was amazing. I really like the ending. I like how it ended, because if Brigade would have killed Cabot, that would have been the end of Bloodstrike, and there would be no more Bloodstrike comics. Same in reverse. There'd be no more Brigade if Cabot killed Battlestone. So, you know, I think the ending was good. I kind of wish that Brigade had killed somebody, just to get even. I kind of wish they had killed a Bloodstrike member. That would have been pretty nice in the story arc. But hey, I guess you can't pick and choose who dies. The art was fantastic. You can tell they really went all out on the art in this one, because, I mean, it was just perfect. The shadowing, just everything in it. I'm not even going to go deep into it, because it's pretty cool. And at the end, you can see some guy coming out of the ocean. I actually have no clue who that is, to be honest with you. So I'll tell you in the next issue, in the next Brigade review. Like I said, I really love how it ends. I would probably give this issue alone like an 11 out of 10, just because of how it unfolded towards the end and what happened. Am I a little upset Stasis died? Yeah, because that's another Brigade member. That's two Brigade members that are dead, Atlas and and stasis. So, you know, and Bloodstrike didn't have any. But anyway, if you didn't think that was interesting, sorry if I trolled on through the issues, but I really wanted to go through them all. Now, for the whole Blood Brothers review, this is just every issue combined into one. This is what I think about the story arc. I really liked it. I really got into it. You know, when I've read the first issue, it wasn't that big of a deal. It's like, I'm just going to read a couple comics. But, like, as you read them, you really get connected to all of the characters in it, which is really cool, because usually when I read story arcs and stuff like that, I don't really get into it. I don't really connect to the characters. It's like, alright, well, who's going to die now? Who's going to fight who's going to win? Who's going to lose? Whatever. But this one was completely different. I really got tied into each and every character, and I wanted to see who was going to win. I obviously wanted Brigade to win over Bloodstrike, because Brigade's one of my favorite comics, especially my favorite Image comic. I really like to see the two teams go back and forth. I like how it was between Bloodstrike and Brigade, how they went every other issue was a different team name, or whatever how you call it on the comic. I thought that was really cool. I really liked what happened to the characters too. I really liked I kind of don't like that Stasis and Alice died, but Alice didn't die in this story arc, so I can't really bring it in. But I don't like how Stasis died. To me, she was kind of like almost an overpowering, so it's kind of good she died, because she could, like, stop people from moving, kind of like Tag can. So it kind of makes me upset that Tag didn't die, because Tag, I think that's way overpowering. If she touches anybody, they freeze. It's kind of unfair, but, other than that, I thought it was awesome. I thought the overall art in it, if I was to rate everything together just by the art, it was good. I thought, everything was great. I really didn't find that many flaws. It wasn't that hard to kind of follow the things, to follow the little boxes and to read which bubble next. Sometimes I have problems with that on a lot of Swamp Thing comics do that. It's kind of confusing. But this one had it down perfect. I thought it was really, really great. This overall story arc, I'd probably give it a good 10 out of 10. It's not just because I like these two teams and these two comics. Just overall, I just think it was a 10 out of 10. There wasn't a whole lot of down points in it. There wasn't pretty much any down points, actually. I never really got bored with it. Just to give you guys a little information, the characters who were in it on Brigade's team were Battlestone, Seahawk, Cold Snap, Stasis, Thermal, Hacker, Boone, Lethal, and Martin. And then on the Bloodstrike characters were Cabot, Deadlock, Foreplay, Shogun, Tag, and Rom. It was a really cool one. I definitely liked it a lot. I might be doing a written review on just this Blood Brothers thing, on just this Blood Brothers story arc alone. I'm not quite sure. If I do, there'll be a link in the description. If there's no link, that means I didn't write it. But I would definitely recommend it to any of you guys. I think you guys should check it out. Maybe, if you can't buy them, go online and find the digital copies and just read them online digitally. I thought it was really cool. One of my all-time favorites, I think, other than some of the Spider-Man story arcs. But I thought this was just fantastic. You guys should definitely check it out. And there'll be some more Brigade issue videos coming out too, because I'm definitely gonna post a video about my first issue Brigade, and it's the gold foil edition. I'm really happy. It's probably probably my favorite Brigade issue I have, just because it's gold foil. So I'll be doing that. I'm also gonna have the hardcover on this one too, because I managed to get my hands on that signed hardcover first printing, which is pretty cool. So I'll definitely catch you guys later in some of my later videos, and please subscribe. Let me know what you think of this review. If you read the story arc, let me know what you think. Kind of interested in your opinion too, and just tell me what you guys think. I'll catch you guys later.